All right.
Hello there, fellow Mass Effect fans. This is the fourth, I think it's the fourth now, the fourth Mass Effect 4 Guardians podcast. And it is me, Commander Naomi, and my faithful co-writer,
Lieutenant Tyler.
Ethan Tyler. Yeah, so we are back with another podcast, and we will talk about really important things. Things that we should have talk and discuss before, but hey, we've got time, so let's just jump into it, shall we? Our This episode will mainly concentrate on the decisions that you made in the trilogy and how we want to carry them over. Last podcast we talked about the Quarians and the Get, how those things would change on Rannoch, and there are some other topics regarding those species, details like how would they fight and stuff like that, their equipment, but that's okay for another day, for another topic. And we just mentioned the Krogan, how Tuchanka would look a bit different, but we didn't go into the details yet. So that will be another thing because curing the genophage is one of your biggest decisions. What the fuck was that?
What?
What the fuck was that?
What are you talking about? Sorry, I coughed. Um,
I will
sorry.
edit this out, but never mind. So one of your
Sorry.
biggest one of your biggest decisions is about the genophage. Did you cure it or not? But okay, let's just start at the first. So um, we have a little list about the consequences of your actions in the Mass Effect games by consequence. Yeah. So let's start with the first Mass Effect game and its consequences. So here we will talk about even the side missions and the side decisions, not just the main ones. So let's just start mm, with I don't know. There are so many. Let's talk about one of the biggest ones, okay? Let's talk about the saving the council. How much that would affect the game. Like what we know, if you save the council or not, there in Mass Effect 2 there will be minor dialogue differences. You get to choose again towards the uh what? Never mind.
Hmm?
So I'm I'm saying stupid things. Uh yeah, so what should be their consequences? Like there will be no Destiny extension. If you save the council, the Destiny extension should be there at the Citadel. I think that that's the biggest dreadnought in the galaxy, and it may survive the Battle of Earth at the end of Mass Effect 3, or if it was destroyed, I think that they constructed it again, like even from scratch. So, yeah, the Destiny Ascension is still there. You could see it, that it's there. Um, I think that the counselors, they are gone. Like, if you save them, they are not the counselors anymore. Like, the Asari counselor stepped down, you know. We talked about that the Asari state is shattered, has, you know. So the counselor stepped down. The Turian and the Salarian counselor is probably retired of old age. Yeah, and the Salarian counselor died since then because, so many years have passed. And yeah, I think that you wouldn't see the same council again. Like you have no chance. You may talk to the, or you may meet the old Turian counselor the, or this. Yeah, if you could meet with the Asari counselor because that counselor may retired, like resigned, but she will be a diplomat on the Citadel still.
Well, one thing that we have to keep in mind though is that assuming that that the council was still on board the Citadel when the Reapers took it over, they actually might have gotten slaughtered.
Yeah, that's actually true. Or I guess what I can imagine that they may had some, after one invasion on the Citadel and one assassination attempt on the Citadel and the Cerberus attack and stuff like that. So maybe the Council has some kind of panic room now, and they may have survived because they barricaded themselves up so much that they, maybe. I'm not sure if all the Citadel, everyone on the Citadel is dead after the Reapers captured the Citadel because it was such a short time actually. Like when the Citadel was attacked, captured, and moved to Earth, and it was recaptured, it was like a day, maybe. So the Reapers had control over the Citadel for a day or two. That's not much time actually.
But don't forget, you also have thousands of Reapers in one area, and the most important thing, the trigger for a weapon that you've been building to destroy them.
I know.
You'd think that you'd want to have full control of it.
Mm, but I can imagine that maybe that the pulse actually didn't have effect on the species on organics. So even the electrical storm, I think, didn't harm them if someone survived. I'm pretty sure that like the majority, like 95% of the population in the citadel died. But what's weird to me is that when you have the final confrontation with the elusive man, I think that you can look out on the window and see the arm, some one or two arms, you know, on the
Yeah,
other
and
side.
still see the lights and all that.
Yeah, how cars moving and stuff like that. So I don't know, it's weird. I think that shouldn't
Hmm.
be the case because the ending was not well crafted. But I can still imagine that not everyone died. It's like a zombie apocalypse. It's literally like a zombie apocalypse. And some some of the population, I'm pretty sure that they survived. If, for example, the Kansia. The Kansia may have, a panic room that they go into um, a safe room or something like, what banks have real time that
Yeah,
they shut down the door, they go into a cell, and they will just like a bunker, and you know. So they may have survived. It would be interesting if some of the people survived and they would tell the stories how they fought with the Reapers while all hope was gone and stuff like that. So maybe some survivors left, and that would be interesting. And if you save maybe the Asari Counselor would be there, you know, it doesn't matter which one, and they
mm,
would tell you the story that they are now, resigned, and now they are working as an advisor to the Council Nova.
mm. Yeah, I could see something like that happening.
Yeah, so I think that it would be nice if we would have, someone who is not Council you have faced that is, that person from before, and
Yeah, a familiar face. Yeah,
a familiar face in the council. Not the council member, but maybe give you some kind of help you what the state of political state is around the council, because the council members are really reclusive. Is there a word like this?
I'm pretty sure it's a word. Yeah.
So they don't really interact with you just on these council meetings, and maybe you could interact more with the advisor. Just my guess,
Mm.
maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I think maybe once or twice you could definitely talk to the council, but it's more of the Mass Effect, Mass Effect 1 call-ins where the council calls you and they're all
Yeah,
bitchy at you and all
they
that.
are really formal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you could meet with the Asari advisor like you regularly do with ambassadors. You can just go in and ask, like how Dina was. Can you could talk to Dina in the first part of Mass Effect 3. You could just go into his
Yeah.
office and, hey, how are you, asshole? Actually, yeah.
Yeah, just
So
go in there and bug him.
back his desk, so we may know what he's talking about. So yeah,
Hmm.
so that's it. I think that in yeah.
Yeah, for the council.
And what other consequences should we have about saving the old council? Like, I don't know.
Um,
Maybe some kind
I'm
word.
thinking, I'm thinking that if you don't save the council in the first one, that maybe there should be a little penalty. Like a little bit of distrust now between the specters and the council.
I don't know. I'm not.
Not saying that would play any huge role or anything, but I don't know.
I think it would more like be. It would like there's some dialogue options or mentions about this how the council thinks about shepherd and how like other species think about the humans. Like if there is an argument, they could still raise this argument. Like, you didn't save us last time. Why would you save us next time? Like these kind of things.
Yeah,
Or you don't trust.
humans have always, yeah,
Yeah,
humans have
yeah.
always been, kind to themselves, but never to us.
Yeah, or the other way
I don't know.
around, like, we saved your asses last time, we sacrificed many lives, and this is how you thank us, and these kind of stuff. So,
Yeah. Yeah, one of the best moments in the Mass Effect series for me is when Shepard is talking to the Elisa Al-Jilani, whatever her name is, the one that's punchable. Um,
what's that SpongeBob?
yeah, in Mass Effect 2, and she's questioning everything about you. She's being all rude about it, and you actually have a dialogue option if you choose, not to punch her in her squishable face. Um, uh, you Shepard names off every ship,
Yeah,
every human ship that got blasted in the battle, and how many members were on each ship, and it's like, oh gosh.
actually, there is a. I think I could achieve that. I punched her in Mass Effect 3 or 2, and I still managed to like convince her to help our cause. Like she was on the ground and I was just kneeling down to her and I was like, okay, look, like you can help us or work against us and stuff like that. And okay, yeah, you have a point. I was an asshole.
Man, that is awesome.
Like I really like I'm I usually am role playing in these games, so I'm like I'm I made a lot of renegade choices, but sometimes it blends into Paragon, and those are my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, those moments definitely make it feel a bit more real for me. Because I do admit that in life there are definitely black and white choices, but a lot of it is actually pretty gray, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, maybe this one you could see the Destiny Ascension and some dialogue mentions about this event month. Kind of like this. Maybe, yeah. So maybe if there will be another, you know, event where you need ships, then the Destiny Ascension would be a bonus.
Definitely. I'd love to see the Ascension again.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Can we move on to the next one?
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
Human counselor. Like, did you choose Dina or Anderson? Because it's really weird that they just, they retcon
They,
this and
yeah,
Udina
they took that
became.
option away from you.
Yeah, it was acceptable. Like you could see on Undina's face in the second one that oh my God, I'm no politician. And actually, I'm reading. I got for Christmas all the four Mass Effect books. And the first one, the Retribution, starts with like when Grissom, Grissom meets with the
Hmm.
young Anderson, who is a soldier. And you can see Anderson in the books, that he is a soldier. He's really not a politician. So I can totally understand that he gave up this position to Udina after some years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he even says in the second that, yeah, Udina does most of the things. So because he has just no
Yeah.
idea. So should that decision have some effect? Maybe.
I think no, not really. I think in the end, because after Adina, was found out to be a Cerberus agent and all that, for how long we don't know, but he was found out to be one anyway. Um, I think the human consular would be more carefully picked. Um,
But I
he'd
don't
be
think that
more
it would change the person who is the human counselor now.
no, no. I don't believe it would. So I don't see any major changes happening with that.
Okay, me neither. So maybe, you know, um, no, I don't think so. Okay, there is, let's move on then. There is one character that I really like, and
Conrad
um,
Werner.
okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
wanted to
Never
say
mind then.
someone else, but Konrad Werner
Oh,
is also very nice. So
yeah.
Konrad Werner on Istria. Um, so Konrad Werner, what are exactly the options with him? So I know that he has a scene in Mass Effect 3, but I've never seen that scene in Mass Effect 3.
You. Oh.
I don't know why.
My goodness. You see, you're the kind of person last time when I was like, spoiler alert, and you got all mad at me. This is why I say spoiler alert.
Like I don't care. Like it's like I don't know. It's so many years.
Ah.
I just
Okay,
didn't
okay.
find that so far. So let's I let you talk about Conrad Werner now.
All right. Um, so Conrad Werner in the first one, basically, from what I remember anyway, my the earlier games I have fuzzier memory of, but um, Conrad Werner in the first one, you could basically tell him to buzz off, or you can actually sign an autograph or take a picture with him or whatever he wants you to do, and he's your best fan ever. And then later on, you can convince him to like cool down, don't be such a fanatic. And then in the second one, you see him at a bar on Ilium.
I think in the first one you can punch him too.
Oh, you can?
I think I can, and I did.
M- Man. See, I know some people like,
No, no,
no,
I
well,
didn't punch
some.
him. I didn't punch him. I grabbed his neck or something. Not the neck, but the neck
Yeah,
of the
the collar.
the
Yeah.
collar, and I and I was pulling him to my face and look, Werner, you are not a soldier. You will go out and die. You will die miserably. And it's like, I hate you.
Jesus.
And it
All
was
right.
like, and then like Liara or someone asked or tell you that like when he left crying, that wasn't this a bit harsh? And I'm like, I saved his life. He should be thankful.
Jeez.
I love to be a
Wow.
renegade sometimes.
Okay then.
Okay, so in the second one,
So yeah, in the second one, Conrad. Well, regardless of what you say, I suppose he spent all of his money to recreate the N7 uniform you were wearing in the first one,
yeah, but I
and
think that Konrad Werner greeted me like I'm an asshole. Like, I hate you. I will show everyone that I'm better than you.
From what I remember, I think he acts the same way if you're a paragon
Yeah.
to him in the first one.
Wow.
From what I remember, I could totally be wrong. But so all this happens, and then you find out that Samasari is tricking him to make the bar sound bad, so then she can buy the bar at a cheap price. That they'll sell the bar to her. So you have two choices. You could shoot Conrad literally in the foot. You can talk to her.
You can guess which I did. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Right off the bat, I was like, oh, that one must know me. Or you could talk to her, trick her, and have her arrested. Believe that you're working with Conrad, and she
I
thinks
don't
you're some
know.
idiot.
I maybe didn't even talk to that Asari. I always
It's
shoot corner
yeah.
away before I talk to that Asari.
Well, weirdly enough, this is also another really fun part for me in the series because if you do that, you trick her, she gets arrested by. Um, then you have the chance of once again be an asshole to Conrad, or you could be nice to him and be like, almost sit him down and talk to him, be like, Conrad, she lied to you. You know, you have to be smarter about these things. By the way, Conrad's wife also left him. um, so that I mean, this guy's life just not. It's because of his fanaticism. It just goes too far.
Yeah,
And he
and
goes,
actually my favorite joke is from him, like, I'm randomly looting crates just like you to make a living, and I'm like, no.
exactly. He's
It's
like,
like
sometimes I get really cold at night.
it's like a minor fourth wall breaking with this crate looting.
Yeah, I know, right? And so you sit Conrad down and be like, come on, buddy. You're better than this. You can do good things without trying to be me. And that's one of my favorite parts because later on, I found this out years after I was playing Mass Effect 2. I had some, like Turtle Beach headsets on, and I was just walking around on Mass Effect 2. And in the background, if you really listen, if you do this option, by the way, the news feeds that play on in the background in some of these areas, you can hear that this new guy named Conrad Werner started a charity called Shepherds. They go and help refugees, they help orphans, they help all these people that need assistance. And because of that, in Mass Effect 3, you can see him again. And
So, what is the? How can you see him again in the third?
from my understanding is you don't shoot him in the foot. Now, I have not done the renegade option where you do this. I've talked to friends who have. I don't know how you get to the point where you don't shoot him in Mass Effect 3.
I've heard that in
Because
Mass Effect
obviously you've
3,
reached that somehow.
in Mass Effect 3, Conrad Werner has a, I don't know, has a, mm, uh, an event with Kelly Chambers or something like that.
Okay, somebody lied to you here. No. um. So basically, when you're going around in Mass Effect 3, there's a doctor. This is after the Citadel got attacked. So you're going around and you hear a doctor say all the Metagel dispensers are being destroyed by somebody. You don't know who. So you fix all the Metagel dispensers and all that, and then you talk to the doctor again. Now, if you've never talked to Conrad or you're for some reason don't see him in the third one ever again, like know me here, um, then this will not happen because first few playthroughs I had no clue Conrad was even a thing. So so talk to Conrad, blah 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 blah. You talk to the doctor, you tell him all the Joe dispensers are all clear, they're all good, they all got fixed, and Conrad Werner comes out of nowhere and says, "Hey, Shepard, it's me. Look over there. I've been talking to this guy. That guy's a Cerberus spy." And he literally points the guy out, and the guy just looks confused, and it's like, "Oh, great, Conrad's at his old antics again." And then the guy pulls out a gun and shoots you, or tries to shoot you. Conrad dives in between you and him, and he gets shot, and he dies.
Oh no.
And then you punch out the Cerberus spy. Yeah, I know, right? It made me so sad. It made me so sad. And then, and then he's like, it's one of those movie moments where you're trying to make him feel better. He's in your arms. He's looking at you, he says, Shepard, did I do good? And you're like, yeah, Conrad, you did good. And he dies.
Come on, it's like no.
Oh, come on, you were an asshole to him.
You see, I did save his life. I shot him in the foot and it saved his life.
Here's because I was like, okay, I guess that's it's sad, but it's acceptable. At least his life meant something in the end. He started this charity. He did this. He did all these good things, and then in the end, he saved the galaxy's hero. But here's because I have the best playthrough ever for me anyway. If you save a girl in Cora's den, she's spying on Cora's den for C-Sec. You save her in the first Mass Effect. You do not see her for Mass Effect 2. So some people totally forget about her. I know I did it.
We are talking about that character.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you save her, I forget what her name is, because her sister in Flux, she asks you
Oh
to save her
yeah.
sister. Yeah. So if you save the sister, she goes back to to Flux, and everything's fine. However many years later, Mass Effect 3 is, it's like 4 years. I don't know. um, Conrad Werner jumps in between the shot and you. He gets shot, and you punch out the guy. Conrad's like, "Oh my God, Shepard, was I good? Yes." And then Conrad says, "I didn't even feel it." And then you find out that right before the guy took the shot, she overloaded the gun, so it sounded like he shot, but that was just the medi. No, not the. My goodness, that was the clip exiting the gun or something. So it sounds like a shot.
So he doesn't die.
No, he doesn't die. And the best part is that uh, Shepard's like, wow, I haven't seen you in forever. She's like, yeah, I learned some tricks while working with C-Sec back in the day. Thank you for saving me again, Shepard. And then Conrad and her start talking, and she's like, wow, you're amazing. You tried to save the commander's life? He's like, yeah, me and the commander go back a ways, you know. and then and then they go off and they just start what do you
Oh,
call it?
that's so
Yeah,
nice.
they go off, and I have this little fanfic in my head where I'm like, these two are just so crazy about Shepard that they'll get married immediately and they'll be happy about it.
Actually, it's so nice that that you know that they even like remember to that random NPC from Mass Effect 1. That and
That's what, yeah. Sorry.
so Mass Effect 3 is a genius game. Don't bash it.
No. It is an amazing game. It is an
I was
amazing
not
game.
talking about
And
you, I was talking about people who are bashing Mass Effect
yeah,
3 because just the ending. Like so many people says that okay, you maybe think that the Mass Effect 3 ending was bad, but all the other 95% of the game or 90% of the game was awesome and excellent was the best representation of a galactic crisis in any video game ever. So yeah.
I mean, part of the reason that we're even trying to do this game right now is because we want to see these characters again. We want to see what
Yeah.
happened to them. We want to see what events could happen or did happen if you wanted to play it that way. And, as long as it makes sense, we want this to happen because we love this series. And yeah, but like you said earlier, that they call back to this not random, but this character in Mass Effect 1, like you said, isn't genius. I love it. And
So what do
yeah.
you think? How should Conrad Werner? Because I think that if Conrad Werner survived it, he has to be in the next game. Like an Orgrams,
Oh, of
maybe he would
course.
have I have two ideas. One is that he is running the souvenir shop on the Citadel, and he has like shepherd figurines, and he can sell you the Normandy mecha, the Normandy ship and stuff
uh,
like that. And and this is awesome as well. Please buy that. That's fucking genius. And
He,
you know,
he, he sells
maybe
you
if you
a
buy
or not Rex teddy bear.
every 10% from every purchases goes to a charity foundation that I started. It's like, and that would be so nice. And
Yeah,
that's one
you have little
possibility.
you have little mystery boxes that look like crates.
Yep. And
So
the
what
other
was the other
one,
one?
and is that it's an Easter egg actually. That maybe if Konrad Werner has survived it, he would be the group leader, but he not, then then someone random NPC. You actually find a message that you don't know. Like you go in around the citadel and find a paper or a message, and you don't know what it is, and you have to do some research in the game, and you go around, and it looks like that this is a really secret group, and it's really hard to track it, and it's all on the citadel scattered, and you're doing this research and coming back, and it takes long, and at the end you actually find a secret room where there is the Commander Shepard fan group. And it's like,
Oh my goodness!
and they are
And
preparing for another invasion on the citadel. It's like funny, and
my goodness.
it's an Easter egg actually.
Uh, yeah, they're all praying to the broken VI that you see in
Yeah,
number 3.
and they are praising the VI, like a cult.
Yeah. Um, what I was thinking of is what do you call it? That maybe you know how in Mass Effect 3 you go to the hospital and the
Yeah,
television on the wall is
yeah,
talking about the Reaper invasion. Something kind of like that, where you might go into a random area and a mix between Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, where Mass Effect 3 actually had the video screens, but you could hardly hear what they were saying, and the audio from Mass Effect 2, where all the news reports were coming in, but there was no visuals. You know what I mean? Maybe there could be something like Conrad Werner opens another uh, orphanage, or he's doing something, and there's his beautiful wife, like the lady that you see in Mass Effect 3, if he lives.
Jenna. I think her name was Jenna.
Jenna, yeah, that's it, yeah. I was like, it starts with a J. I know it. It's gonna bug me. But so something like that, and
Jim.
Jim.
No, it was a stupid joke. Nothing.
Okay, okay. Um, But so in Mass Effect 3, because we talked about how Samantha Trainer would have a museum somewhere on Earth dedicated to the Reaper War, I think Conrad Werner, if he lives, would use some of the donations that he gets from so many people for his organization and send a little bit of it to help fund the museum. Like there'd be a little like thank you to Conrad Werner and Shepherds,
Yeah.
because that's what his group is called. By the way, I'm not making that up.
Okay.
All right, so